Mr. Speaker, sir, I would like to thank, first of all the office holders and members who participated in this debate. I also thank the Workers' Party for supporting most of the points that PSP have raised. I'm glad that based on the amended motion put forward by Mr. Edward Chia, all of us has agreed on the importance of safeguarding our hawker culture, which is an important national institution and cultural inheritance, and the need to provide to our hawkers, the need to provide help to our hawkers to continue to provide good and affordable food and earn a fair livelihood at the same time. I thank SMSCo especially for the very comprehensive explanation of the government policies. I indeed learned a lot from it. However, I think to summarize my concerns, there are these following issues which I think if the government do not tackle further, the prospects and livelihoods of our hawkers will not improve that much and will threaten the sustainability of our hawker culture in the long term. So I hope the government will continue to consider these 4 points that I raised. Firstly, about the social enterprise model. I think so far we are still not sure what is the contribution, actual contribution made by the social enterprise model vis-a-vis the problems that the model has brought about. In PSP view, we think that the corporatized culture of a social enterprise model is actually not compatible with the free, sole proprietor spirit of individual hawkers. And if you take into consideration the possibility of conflict of interest between the private operator and he operating a social enterprise hawker center, we are of the view that it may be better off for experienced civil servants of our hawker centers group to actually provide more help to the management of the hawker centers. That's one of our points, and that's why we say bring the whole thing up as a Hawker Singapore new government agency. Second point, while we appreciate the advantages that SMSCo has shared with us about the tender system, but there's still an unanswered question as to why is there a need for the system to also cater for a renewal system that's so peculiar. Specifically, a high tender bid will be reduced to a lower assessed market rent after the initial 3 years. Is it not better off to have a system whereby the bidder continues to pay as he bid, or after 3 years, a new bidding again, for the same store? So we still think that this way of this kind of tender system did contribute to the escalating prices in our HDB coffee shops and food courts. And that is one of the major causes of escalating cooked food prices in the long run. Third point, we also disagree that while you allow the coffee shops and food courts to employ work permit holders, but you don't allow the individual hawkers to do so. In doing so, you are putting them at a disadvantage. And in order for us to actually preserve the distinctive Singaporean character of our hawker culture, we must ensure that our individual hawkers are competitive vis-a-vis the corporatized hawkers. If you disallow that to the individual hawkers, then you continue to make them the underdogs. And my last point, you may have a lot of competing objectives, but to impose budget meals and discounts to hawker meals, imposing the cost on the hawkers is an objective that you can do without. Okay, those are my main points that I would like to say. So, sir, in closing, 2 months ago, we debated a bill for an important group of essential workers that deserves our attention. the platform workers. I regard our local hawkers as another group of workers essential to the functioning of our society that really need our attention. Exemplified by many of my Chinatown neighbors in the past, our pioneer hawkers started off as humble folks who just want to earn enough to feed their families. They worked very hard, but is satisfied with getting meager profits. As a result, we were able to enjoy cheap and good hawker food for a long time. Today, in the 21st century, hawkers are facing tremendous headwinds with high rental, shortage of manpower, unfair competition, and increasing constraint from corporatization. But the persistent society's expectation to provide cheap and good food. This situation is not sustainable. At the rate we are going, our traditional hawker culture, which is based on the hard work and enterprise of individual hawkers, will slowly wither away. Corporatization of the hawker trade is a natural development of the market economy, but we can ensure a more level playing field for our individual hawkers to thrive and flourish. The current plight of our hawkers is at least partly due to the policies laid down by the government. The onus is now on the government to consider our suggestions to provide better support for hawkers in the future. Sir, Mandarin, please. 议长先生，新加坡前进党提出小贩文化保护动议，呼吁政府审查与小贩和小贩中心管理有关的政策，为小贩提供更好的支持，以维持和发展新加坡的小贩文化。小贩文化不仅是新加坡人身份认同的一部分，也是联合国教科文组织认证的非物质文化遗产。小贩中心作为人民厨房，为新加坡人提供了美味、实惠的食物，也提供了应对高生活成本的缓冲。同时，小贩行业也为年轻有理想的创业者提供了一个理想的创业平台。若在国内外推广小贩美食，通过美食征服世界各地人们的心灵和美味，这也是新加坡提升软实力的一种方式，将带来巨大的经济效益。因此，前进党认为保护和传承小贩文化至关重要。然而，小贩面临的挑战正在威胁这一独特文化的持续存在。因此，前进党呼吁政府重新检讨新的政策。在今天的动议辩论中，前进党提出了6项政策建议。我同事潘晴群在他的演讲中也以中文介绍了这6项建议。前进党相信，这6项政策变更将为小贩文化注入活力，使新加坡小贩美食在国际舞台上更加闪耀，也确保小贩中心继续为新加坡人提供实惠的食品。议长先生，2个月前我们曾就平台工作者的法案展开辩论。这是一群值得关注的重要劳动者，而我们的本地小贩也是维持社会运作的另一重要群体，同样需要我们的关注。 新加坡的先锋小贩靠辛勤劳动和低利润为我们提供了物美价廉的食品，但在当前高租金、人手短缺和企业化小贩竞争的压力下，个体小贩正面临巨大挑战。以目前的速度，基于个体小贩的勤奋和创业精神的传统小贩文化将逐渐衰落。在今天的辩论中，前进党提出了一些政策建议，希望引发更多的公众讨论，帮助创建更多的空间，以维持和发展我们的小贩文化。我们希望政府能考虑我们的建议，让新加坡人评判哪些政策提案在长远来看更有利于新加坡。我希望国会中的每个人都同意，小贩中心和小贩们必须茁壮成长，这样我们才能继续享受美味且实惠的小贩食品，维持和发展我国极具代表性的小贩文化。Sir, having made my points clear, the PSP is ready to support the amended motion, which is not too different from the original motion tabled by me. This is to show that this House is united in our support for hawkers. Sir, I beg to move as quickly as possible, please.